Good morning. It is Tuesday and we're getting ready to take on the day, Dylan and I. We have a lot of things to do, but it's all good because we're going to get them all done because I have a game plan. I have a schedule. I love schedules. I never thought I'd say that, but I am a regimented person and I'm ready to get at it. So I'm going to start with Touch Glorious Primer. We're going to do just a really quick kind of fun springy routine today because it's been raining here for about 1,000,000 years. So I'm just going with a little bit of Touch Glorious Primer. It's been raining here in New York for what feels like 1,000,000 years and I can't take it anymore. So I wore a bright springy sweatshirt that I got at the Gap yesterday. Gotta love Gap clearance at the outlet. Like, that's the double-decker award of shopping right there. And it gives me all of the bright summer good feelings that I'm missing this time of year because it is cold and rainy and gloomy out. So I'm going to use, what am I going to use today? I'm going to use Touch Mineral Skin Perfecting Concealer. I'm going to use Touch Mineral Liquid Foundation. We're going to do a different kind of lip. I'm going to layer one of our Opulence lipsticks with a lip gloss and just kind of show you a couple of different things. Try to switch up the combos. Of course, 4D mascara is coming in clutch this morning because why wouldn't it be? I'm totally obsessed with it. And yeah, I'm going to curl my lashes really quick before we take off. And while my primer is setting, always let your primer set for a few minutes. You're going to notice a major difference in the way that your makeup sits on your face when you let that happen. And the other thing I'm toying with doing is having my eyelashes permed so that they're like always going to curl upwards and then I don't have to do this. Now they are long enough to deal with. And I want to have it done, I think. Okay, so I'm going to go in with Liquid Touch Foundation. This is the shade Eyelet. And I'm not going to blend it with anything, no BB cream or anything like that today. I'm just going to go in straight with the Liquid Touch Foundation. Because it's a mineral product, always shake it and drop the plunger a few times. And you'll be very glad that you did. So I put about a half a dropper on the back of my hand. And that way I can just kind of spread it out where I want to have it. And it goes on a little faster that way. Sometimes I'll just do like a little drop at a time. But this definitely goes quicker. And I am going to blend it out with a big Eco Tools sponge that I always use. I just washed it with hot water and hand soap, so it's got some moisture in it, and that's what makes it super squishy. When you first buy a sponge, it's going to be very dense and hard, and then when you wash it, it'll get nice and soft and squishy. I personally cannot use it when it's super stiff. It does not feel good. It feels like you're kind of beating yourself with a pillow or something. So I definitely like to go in when this is nice and soft. And you're going to want to press your foundation into your skin. Do not smear it. This is going to give you the long-lasting all-day coverage, as well as not give you any of those like smush lines that nobody wants on their face. All right. So even though this is, some people feel like extra steps, the pressing, the stippling, it's really not. It doesn't take that much effort. It doesn't take that much like extra time. And it really doesn't take that much technique to do. You're just going to blend it in until everything looks like it's got a nice blend in it. And I always go down my neck just a little bit so that there's not that weird sort of disconnect between my face and my body, which was something I didn't used to do in middle school, and dang, did it show. Okay, so Skin Perfecting Concealer. I'm going to use the shade Velour today because I want a brighter under eye, but I don't want like a huge contrast. I'm going to do a pretty natural look today. So this is all the concealer that I put on my entire face. That's it. That's why one of these gems lasts me 6 to 8 months, because you don't need a lot of it. They are really, really well pigmented, and I always put mine on with a Splurge cream shadow brush because it allows me to put less product on, which means it blends out that much easier and it doesn't get caught in like my under eye creasing. It doesn't make anything look really heavy, and obviously the coverage is totally still there. So that's why I like, when I go in with my finger, I just feel like I end up putting way too much product on, and I use at least double that amount, at least double this. And there's not really a reason to. So the reason that I put this on is really just to brighten my under eye, conceal any dark spots, contour my face. Obviously, if you're looking to cover anything up, like any acne or scarring or anything like that, you can obviously use this product to do that. I more use it as like a contour. It helps me sculpt out my face. Women typically are more hormonal around their nose area, which makes us look more red. So give that area around your nose and your mouth a little extra love, and you will really appreciate the results. Okay, going down my nose. And on the good morning, everyone. Going on the sides of my face like that. Okay, so I still have concealer left over on my hand, which is fine. I'll probably use that at a later time to sculpt out my brows, but for right now we're good to go. So I'm going to take the same Eco Tools sponge, and I'm just going to use this short flat side, and I'm going to press this concealer into my skin and just blend out the edges so that it blends right into my foundation. Pressing. And you can see that it just, I still have the brightness, but I just don't have like that super, what's the word I'm looking for? Aggressive line. The Velour is only 2 shades down from the foundation that I use, so it's not going to give me as much contrast as when I use the Scarlet, which is 4 shades lighter. But I know some people like a really, really bright under eye, and that's totally fine. But you can go to where you're looking too, there's too much difference, too much contrast on your face. Okay, all blended in. Now we're going to set our makeup. I'm going to use the Touch Behold Translucent Setting Powder. You don't need to be shade matched for this. This goes on, it just blends into and covers up any kind of cream products that you have on your face so that they don't shift or move or change at all during the day. And you can put this over any color skin, any color lipstick. All it's going to do is seal that cream product so that it doesn't shift at all. I usually go in, some people take a ton of this and they put it on with a sponge. I prefer not to. I like to go in with a brush and actually tap off the majority of it because I'm a less is more kind of a girl when it comes to makeup. And I just don't like to A, waste product, or B, put so much on that I'm going to notice it on my fine lines. Can always add more, but it's very difficult to blend in too much product at one time. Okay, done. We're gonna go in with bronzer, and I'm actually gonna bring out Hermosa. I haven't used Hermosa in a very long time. This is our, you can actually see that I got down to pan here in the center. Hermosa is our medium bronzer, so we have Sunset, which is the lightest, Hermosa, which is in the middle, and then Malibu. I like all three of them. I like Sunset in the winter when I'm super duper pale. I like Malibu all the time. Ironically, it's the darkest one that we have, and I never thought it would be appropriate for me because I'm very fair-skinned. But it's gorgeous. And the Hermosa has more of like a brown tone to it. So I'm just going to use that for contour. I'm just going to start at the top corner of my ear and blend it down towards the corner of my mouth. And I'm just going to feel right for my cheekbone, and I'm going to go just on the lower part of that cheekbone into the hollow of my chin so that you see the hollow as opposed to the bone. When you contour, you want to contour the hollows and you want to highlight the bones. That's what's going to sculpt out your face and give you a leaner, longer appearance. And I always start towards the back of my face and blend up towards the front so that I'm depositing the most product in the back. You don't want to bring a ton of attention to this part of your face. It's going to make it look larger, fluffier, more robust. I don't like any of those words when you're talking about my face. So I always start in the back. And I'm going to blend the hairline out a little bit. Again, this just sculpts out your face. It makes you focus on the inside of your face where it's brightest, where we contoured with the concealer. And then, oh, it's Carrie. And then I'm going to do the jawline. Jawline is like liposuction, or what is that, Kybella. Kybella is all the rage now. Gets rid of extra chins. So do your jawline and then blend that out. And blend it down your neck. Always go further down on the sides of your neck than you do in the center, and that's going to do the same thing that we did for your face, which is sculpt it out. Okay. And then just down the sides of my nose to warm it up. Oh, it's done. Warm it up and just kind of do the same thing. We want to make the inside of our nose brighter to highlight the bone structure, and the outside of our nose shadowed so that's the inside that we're just going to blend out. And just doing that little line just thins your nose out. Makes it look daintier. Okay. Done and done. Just blending everything together. This has nothing on it. I always use a big fluffy brush just to blend everything out at the end so that there's no question that like harsh lines are not your friend when you're doing makeup. Maybe for eyeliner, that's all. Okay, let's get reorganized over here. Now let's do blush. So I'm going to go in with Sweet. It is the all-time best blush for neutral skin. If you don't want to go overboard on your blush, I always go for Sweet. It's just such a perfect flush color. I will often blend this in and use this as my eyeshadow for the day. Because just, you can't go wrong with Sweet, honestly. Okay, so I'm actually going back to shadows today. I have not taken out my shadows in forever. So here's the ones that I picked for today. I have Nimble, Lively, and Visionary. I'm going to use those on my eyes. And then I pulled Joyful, and I'm going to actually use that as the highlighter on my face because it's a nice metallic. So I'm going to start with Nimble, and I'm going to grab my Younique blending brush and just go in with some Nimble. It's sort of like a taupey brown. And I'm going to blend that right into the crease of my eye and all over my eyelid. And it's not a really deep color. It's just a really nice sort of transition color. It's got some pigment to it without looking really saturated. And because it's daytime, I really didn't want to go with a heavy eye today. But we are going to add color to it with Lively. So I wanted some pigment. And then I'm going to grab just this little angled brush, and I'm going to grab that same shade of Nimble, and I'm going to do my lower lash line with it. And just kind of give it a little bit of extra boost so that when we put mascara on it, it will stand out that much better. If you wanted to make any of these colors in eyeliner, all you do is dip this little angled brush in water. It's going to concentrate your pigment, and you're going to be able to draw it on just like a liquid eyeliner. That is one of my favorite makeup hacks to turning every eyeshadow you have into an eyeliner. You just gave yourself the gift of lots of makeup by doing that. All right, so now I'm going to go in with Lively, which looks like a very aggressive color, but I promise you it isn't. It's one of my favorite colors to use, and I'm going to use that same Younique blending brush. And I'm just going to start on the corner of my eye and blend it out into the crease. And it just gives my eye that kind of warm glow that I was looking for. And you can see also that I don't have any fallout on my face from these eyeshadows. They're so pigmented that you don't need to grab a lot. I literally touch this once and I tap off any extra, and there's still enough color left on it that I can do everything that I want to do on my eye without getting a ton of like spillage. All right, so this color here, which is called Visionary, it's sort of like an orangey gold. I'm gonna just use my fingertip and I'm gonna apply it to the inside corner of my eye and right to the center of my eye, just to give it a little bit of brightness. And then we're gonna blend it out with our blending brush. Sometimes I just go in with my finger because it's easier than grabbing a tool. And I'm just going to blend it out so it's a little softer. I always like to put a little bit of brightness on the inside corner of my eye. I feel like it just wakes your eye up that much more, and you're good to go. I do have one more shadow in here. It's called Joyful, and I'm going to use this as a highlighter today on my face, but I'm just going to reserve that until I'm done with my eyes. We still have to do mascara and brows. So speaking of brows, Moodstruck Brow Obsession Palette in the Brunette shade is my favorite. And just have to get organized here. So what I like about using a palette and a brow artist brush as opposed to using the brow pencil is I get a year and a half or more out of one of these for $49, and I would easily go through 2 brow pencils a month. So I get so much more value out of this, and I can constantly tailor the color that I'm adding to my brow. If I'm more blonde, if I'm darker, it doesn't really matter. I don't have to like rethink the wheel. So I'm just gonna go in with the darker shade and a little bit of this brow gel and draw on the lower line of my brow all the way from the front to the tip of the tail. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the top, except I'm going to start just a little bit further back so that I can create a little bit of a fade in. Your brows are never solid and thick right at the front. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do it. And then I start at the arch and I just kind of fill in from the arch all the way to the tail. That is your darkest, thickest part of your brow naturally. And then I take whatever is left over on my brush and on my brow already, and I sort of subtly fade back a little bit at a time And when I hit the front, I can make this ombre soft fade that looks really realistic. It uses almost no product to do, but it totally changes the shape of your face. It gives you more structure. It gives your face more definition and color. I live for the brows. All right, let's do number 2 over here. The first step would always be go get your brows shaped by someone who knows what they're doing, and they will be able to show you exactly the right face, the brow shape for your face, where they should start, where they should stop, where the arch should be, how high the arch should be. And then from there, you're going to know better what lines to follow to fill it in. And once you do it, I would say the first time I did my brows, I was like, wow, this is a different look for sure. By the third time that I did them, I was very comfortable doing them, and I was hooked on the end result. But it really does give you a whole different level of polish on your face when you do your brows. Totally next level. Done. I'm going to use the concealer that I have left over on my hand because I hate wasting product. And I'm just going to sculpt out my brows a little bit by going underneath them and sort of cleaning up that line and putting a nice little matte highlight right on my brow bone. I try to go pretty minimally on doing this because, again, less product is more to me, but it really does help to refine your look. And if you make like a little oops anywhere in doing this, you can totally clean it up with a little bit of concealer. You don't have to like take your makeup off and start from scratch. Okay. We'll just go ahead and blend this out. This will just clean up our eyeshadow that much more. Having that dampness left over in your sponge makes everything so easy. Highly recommend. If you've never used a damp sponge to do your makeup before, give it a try. It revolutionizes the makeup application process. For real. Okay. Favorite part of the day is Epic 4D mascara. I have 10 more of these. These are sold out right now. I want to say that I have one unspoken for that I have currently in my possession, and then I have 10 more on order that should get here. They should ship the first week of June, and I should have them by the second week of June. So this is the 4D mascara. This has the fibers already blended into it. And what I like about it is the wand helps you to take every single lash that you have and maximize it so that they look like fake lashes. First coat. Second coat is always the killer. And because it makes your lashes so long, the other trick is put a mirror down below you. That way you won't get the mascara on your eye. Okay. Coat 1 is done. Coat 2 is truly where the magic happens. And then I'm going to use whatever I have left over on my wand to do my lower lashes, because otherwise they don't even exist. They're so light and blonde that you can't even tell that I have any. Okay, and done. I love this so much more than the 3D mascara that we had. That used to be 2 tubes, so you had a transfer gel, and then you had the fibers, and then you had to go back over it with the transfer gel. And it just, I always used to get the little fibers in my eyes. It did give me a ton of length and volume and like bulk to my lashes, but this is a one-step mascara, and there's nothing that's gonna beat that, honestly. Okay, so I'm going to go in with this shade, which is Visionary. This is an eyeshadow, but I also use it as a highlighter. So I'm going to go in with Visionary right here and apply it right on my cheekbone. If you want a ton of highlighters, if you're someone who loves highlighting your face and you're just looking for more variety, go grab a quad palette and put 4 different highlighter shades in it. We have a ton of them. Joyful, Relaxed, and Optimistic are my 3 favorites that I use regularly as highlighter. And then I use them on my eyes as well. But I just love that little glow that it gives your skin. And it just kind of gives you that little extra bit of transition between your bright under eye and your blush. Always do the Cupid's bow, makes your lip look big. Okay, and now for lips. Another double duty product is Prim eyeliner. I use this not only as an eyeliner, but I also use it as a lip liner. It's a brown, but it's a very light, sort of like coffee with milk kind of brown. So forgive me if I can't talk during this. It's the one time of the day I'm quiet. Okay. And I always just slightly overline my lip, which means going on just the outside of it, because it gives me a better pout. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with Opulence lipstick, and I'm going to go in with, say, this shade Prodigal. So it's sort of like an apricot-y color. And I'm going to blend it right into that lip liner, which is technically eyeliner. Okay. I don't want that, like, what did Margaret Josephs call it? Baboons, you know what? Where it's like just super so lined that you can't even accept the fact that they're actual lips. I don't want that. All right, so that was Prodigal Opulence lipstick, and now I'm going to go in with Lunar Lucrative lip gloss, which is like a clear gloss with like a little bit of a metallic shimmer to it. If you like big lips, always go for a liner, a color, and then a gloss. The gloss makes your lips appear like 3 times as big. Beautiful. And then I'm just going to take that concealer brush with the last of it. And just clean up that lip line. And we're done. So the last step is setting makeup. So today I'm going to use Touch Behold Setting Spray, and that is what I use when I want to mattify my face and when I want to set it. So this is what I use all summer long, when it's hot, when it's humid, when I have a long day ahead of me. If you ever run out of primer, you can also use this as a first step instead of a primer. So you just go in with some setting spray, let it dry on your face for a few minutes, and then start your makeup, and it's going to make your face tacky enough that everything is going to stick to it, and you're not going to have any shifting during the day, which is also the point of primer, is to keep your makeup in place, not just hide your pores and what have you. But that's kind of the best part. So some people will go in with a regular primer, and then they will go in with setting spray, and then they'll do their makeup. If you really had like a full day, like if I was doing somebody's makeup for a wedding or for prom or something, that's probably what I would do, just to make sure that there is no shifting whatsoever. All right, so there is our glowy, spring, bright colored, but yet not obnoxious look of the day. I will go ahead and take a picture, and then I'll post all of the products that I use to achieve my look in the comments below. If you want to get color matched, or if you want to get on the pre-order list for the Younique Stick Foundation, that is relaunching on the 28th of this month, and I know there's going to be a huge bum rush to get on the website and get it ordered. Just let me know, and then I will get you on the pre-order list so that we can make sure that your product comes in on time. But other than that, that's my spiel for the day. I have 2 contractors coming over to look at my bathroom, and 2 people coming over to look at the backyard to add some landscaping to it. Thank you to my Younique money. If you are interested in doing anything like this, even just grabbing the kit so that you can get the discount when you buy your makeup yourself, shoot me a message. I'd love to tell you how it works, what I do, how much time I do it during the week, that sort of thing. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great Tuesday, and I will see you back here on Saturday morning.